Please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong?
This is In the Know for Thursday, March 3, the 62nd day of 2022. There are 303 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station, 103.9 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Third region tournament for Cougar boys starts tonight. We'll tell you about that. I've been missing in action for a couple of days. We'll give you an explanation about that. And we'll continue our March of Kindness. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's B. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. Well, I was having a hard time with my devices,
Yeah.
but I've got them lined
Got
up.
it all worked out
Yep.
now?
Mhm.
I think you're one of the many people who enjoyed an afternoon in the sun yesterday,
Oh,
getting
yeah.
out, playgrounding,
Yes,
and climbing on rock piles. It was glorious yesterday afternoon.
absolutely.
Are you looking forward to more days like that?
Well, yes, always.
Always. You're looking for more days like that. Yeah, me too. It was really nice to come home to that yesterday. And we'll tell you more about weather patterns coming up here in a minute. He's the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Moscow, Paris, and even Owensboro. He's Sam Gormley and the Sparks. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good.
I forgot we were supposed to remove Moscow from from we. I'm going to be one of those people. I'm removing mentions of that, so not going to throw them any shade. I'm going to swap in something else, but I forgot. You're on your way tonight to your favorite place in the world, Owensboro Sports Center.
Well, I mean, I could be going to Morgantown.
Well, that's true. Or you could be going to Cloverport, or you could be going to, who knows, a bunch of places.
Calhoun. No, I don't mind. I mean,
They're hard. They're just harder places to go.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
my
no.
point. So.
I mean, as far as ease in getting to, I mean, it doesn't get much easier to get into the sports center.
That's true. You just a couple of simple turns, really, merges and turns.
You take a right off the expressway and then take another right and a left into the parking lot, and you're there.
Is it harder as a broadcaster to call a 90-foot floor, a 94-foot floor? Or is it?
It's. I mean, the sight lines are different for us too.
Yeah, I get it.
And we get to be a little closer to it, the sports center, which is kind of nice.
A front row seat. Well, close
no,
to a front row seat.
Yeah.
Yesterday, as I mentioned, was a glorious day weather-wise. I know at one point in time, 74, 75, I think I saw at least. That's unofficially, some of your vehicle temperature sensors reported that. Today will be a cooler day, but I don't think you're really going to notice it because the sun is going to be nice. It's going to be radiating, and I think there's a really good chance we could hit 60 today. I know our friends at Wave are saying 58, but that's more of a regional broad temperature, so don't be surprised if your gauge doesn't say 60 today. And Louisville is predicting the potential for record warmth on Saturday. Could get above 75, at least in Louisville, and maybe some wind. But then that brings in some rain late Saturday night and into Sunday, and it could be rainy into Monday. And
I'm hoping that's a typo next Saturday.
I don't want to draw your attention too far into the future.
Hoping that's a typo.
But at this point in time, for the temperature we enjoyed yesterday and the temperature we're going to enjoy for the next few days, we will have to pay the band for the music they're making next week because the temperature next Saturday could potentially only be 25.
I'm hoping that's a typo.
It is not. It is not a typo. I'm afraid. But look at that. From Friday night to Saturday, it's a 45-degree temperature swing when you factor in the low. The high on Friday is 65. The low on Friday night or Saturday
It
is
should
20.
not be 25 degrees the
Right.
Saturday of the SEC tournament.
I agree. That will feel weird. Normally you can, enjoy, hey, spring is here, the SEC tournament is here.
That's their punishment for moving it
etc.
to Tampa from Nashville.
I guess, and unfortunately, I can't go. So, but that'll just be that. Speaking of going, I was I was in Washington, D.C. on a lobbying trip Monday and Tuesday and through yesterday. Had a very good visit. It felt it didn't feel normal, but it felt like a step toward normal.
I was expecting to see you sitting behind Biden in between Pelosi and Harris.
I was closer to Biden than you were, and I was close to him when the motorcade drove by, I guess technically.
Well, that's pretty cool.
But we got into town on Monday. I had a flight about this time on Monday into Reagan National, and first meeting was with Leader McConnell. So we were one of the few who have been able to get into the Capitol building for a better part of a year. So we met with him, and but as we were going up to that meeting at the U.S. Capitol, I couldn't help but notice it was a gorgeous day in Washington. It was sunny, but there were no people. So the fence was back up for State of the Union. That's theater. But I had never been there during the day. It must have been what like a Sunday must feel like on Capitol Hill when there aren't people everywhere on every corner. It was weird. You kind of just felt like you had the place to yourself. Obviously, security is much tighter, and it's not COVID related. It's riot related from January 6th. But I will tell you, I had an opportunity to meet with every member of the congressional delegation from Kentucky over the 2-day period. And the thing that I took away, yes, we talked about some important broadcasting issues without a doubt, but I really relished and appreciated the insight from each of our congressional members about the Ukraine situation. I have been really in admiration with the way that Ukrainians have stood up to protect their country and their property and the way that they want to live. I don't think they're a force today that can turn back the Russians, but they have been able to slow down the Russians, and they certainly did not throw down their arms and say, this is an exercise in futility. Why even try? They seem to be very resilient. And until just, within the last couple of decades, they were, I don't know if they would call themselves Russians, but they were part of the Soviet Union. And those people are, they're tough. And I got some stories that were in meeting with the congressional members of Congress from Kentucky. Even some said, I have relatives that fought in World War II that felt sorry for the Germans that got, because of the way that they got treated by the Russians. Mm-hmm. So, you think of what Germany was like in World War II, that you could conjure any amount of empathy, whatsoever for German soldiers at the hands of what ruthless Russians are capable of doing. And it just really kind of brought into focus that area and that region. We don't know we have no idea what that is like. And so in my travels, that's what I took away from it, was hearing everyone from Congressman Andy Barr to Congressman Comer to Congressman Guthrie, Congressman Rogers, Yarmouth, Senators Paul and McConnell, and they all had, because that's what everyone is talking about, and then to happen to be there on the day of the State of the Union. So we got refugees pouring out of Ukraine, and now the refugee count tops 1 million, Russians besieging some of the Ukrainian ports, and the sanctions just continue to kind of get ratcheted, and just trying to do more stingers are headed into the area. So just,
I don't know if you saw the clip from CBS News. They had somebody standing up, and I think he was either preparing for a stand-up or it just ended.
It just ended.
Just ended his stand-up, and you see the flash behind him, and he said, "What was that?" And he turns around, and then it was a huge one.
Yeah,
behind him. And it was
two back to back.
Yeah.
Charlie D'Agata.
Was that who it was?
Yeah, is the correspondent over there.
Yeah, and you could tell he was, as you can imagine, shaken.
Yeah. So thanks to the two of you, and thanks to Whitney and Yukon. I'm so glad to see Yukon back this week. Thanks to you all for
I thought we changed the key to make sure that he couldn't get in the building.
Covering for me while I was gone. I was doing important work, and I appreciate you all allowing me to do that.
Yeah, it was good to see both of them.
Just a sad note, seeing a headline today that an elderly Clarkson woman was killed in a 2-vehicle accident yesterday at Wax. You can read more about that at K105.com, but tragedy strikes there in the Wax community as a 93-year-old woman loses her life. The governor talked yesterday in Frankfort, a little bit about where we are now on the backside of a 2-year pandemic. And he says Kentuckians are pivoting into an era of personal empowerment with making their own health decisions. And he said, we believe that we're moving toward living with COVID, but not ignoring COVID. I think he mentioned maybe 2,300 cases in the state yesterday. So for midweek, that's a good number, but still death too high. 35 is still too high, but less patient, less hospitalization, less ventilators. So that's all good news in that regard. The legislators, about 20 days left in the legislative session in Frankfort, and they've got still some what I would consider big ticket items. One of the things that obviously the Kentucky Broadcasters Association has been following and was a big topic of conversation while we were on our delegation trip is on Friday, a member of the GOP in the House dropped a comprehensive tax reform bill that increases taxes on 39 services across the state, including advertising, by the way, and but coincidentally not legal services, and more about that at some point in time in the future. But some things that, they made one round taxing things that we hadn't taxed before in Kentucky, and we started taxing them, things like dry cleaning and auto repair and things such as of that nature. Now they want to go back and get some other things. And they say that it's an effort to do tax reform and model tax reform more like Tennessee, more like Texas, more like Florida, to do away with the income tax. And so more of a usage-based tax. And if you believe in that tax reform, then I understand. I'll just tell you, and while I have the opportunity, I'll tell you for all the states they're trying to emulate tax reform after, advertising, the exemption on advertising tax is not in play in Tennessee or in Texas, or in fact, there's no state anywhere in the United States that doesn't allow for an exemption on advertising expenses for businesses. And so what it ultimately does is you're then taxing speech. So whether you have a business that's able to recruit and send messaging to communities, whether it's through trying to drive business or whether it's recruiting or whether it might be. So anyway, I obviously have big concerns about that and doing what we can to bring those things to light. It's as simple as this. So Oscar Shibwe has a big deal with Lifeway Christian now. Let's just say he's got an NIL deal. Now that's advertising. And so you're going to have to charge 6% of his NIL deal for that. You're going to, at the Clarkson ballparks that have all their billboards on the outside of their signs, this business and that's advertising tax. Every political sign, every political T-shirt, it's like when the Supreme Court defined pornography, they said it's hard to define, but you know it when you see it. And that's exactly the way advertising is. It's everywhere that you don't realize you're looking. And the biggest concern on this issue, and I'll get off my personal self-serving pulpit in just a second, is that as part of this reform, they're not going after big tech. They are not trying to tax the advertising that you might be doing on Google and on Facebook. So there's something wrong with that. Sports betting may also be in the offing, whether it happens in Kentucky.
Pass it.
Maybe not, but it sounds like it could potentially even get a vote. They got 20 days left, and so there's going to be a skirmish here in the final days, because it's also estimating, all right, what must we do? By the way, it's House Bill 8 is a tax reform, in case you'd like to talk to your legislators. They have to figure out we've got to pass this. Then we've got to allow enough time that Governor Beshear couldn't take all the potential time that he needs to veto it. So they leave themselves enough time to come in and do a veto override. So they've got to get their timetables lined up just right for the things that they want to try and push through as this session will come to a close. One of the things they did is, and I don't understand this issue, haven't been studying it, but we'll try to, said a Kentucky Senate panel has advanced a proposal that would keep state government from doing business with financial companies that have decided to cut their investments in fossil fuels. It would also require Kentucky State Treasurer to publish, maintain, and update a list of financial companies engaged in energy company boycotts. The list would then be shared with state government entities making investments of more than $1 million annually. If a company does not end the boycott, the bill would require that the state government entity divest from those holdings. Okay, I'm not sure I understand that completely, but in case you do,
There's some big words there.
maybe that's worthy information. Another thing the legislature is doing is, they're trying to save Kentucky State University. That has been in a nosedive for quite some time. And Senate Bill 265 is sponsored by David Givens from Greensburg. It would require the governor to remove the current board members, the Board of Regents, at KSU and reply them by April 1st. So Kentucky had previously decided in the legislature that they would try and give a shot in the arm financially to KSU. But what the state is saying is, if we're going to do this bailout, and I think it's a worthy, as I've said before, if there is an HBU in Kentucky, it is KSU. And so I think it has merits in saving it and protecting the educational opportunities for those demographics. But I do think that those who ran it in the ground should not just get to continue to sit in their seats on the Board of Regents just to do it all over again. So reseating that board, and I'm not saying there might be members on that board who are worthy of keeping, but allowing the governor to decide that, I think, is probably a worthy decision and action on that. I'm also learning today don't know a lot of the detail. I don't know a lot about the detail of the story, and I don't know a lot about the platform, but the Attorney General, Daniel Cameron, is co-leading a multi-state investigation into TikTok. He announced yesterday he's co-leading a nationwide investigation into TikTok for providing and promoting its social media platform to children and young adults, despite its association with physical and mental health harms. Saw a stat, and I don't know the data, but when CBS was reporting on this story today, I noticed they said the benchmarks that TikTok has been able to reach in users is what I think the story was. What took Facebook 10 years has taken TikTok 5. And so
That's also the way, Facebook was coming in a different era.
That's true.
Facebook created the path for TikTok to come. And TikTok is creating the path for whatever is the next social media to make its way.
I couldn't help but notice that TikTok announced earlier this week that they had been their short clips, right? Just clips that go over, but now they're allowing up to 10 minutes.
Correct.
I'm like, that sounds like a shot across the bow of YouTube.
Yeah.
And
I can't do that. You know me.
Right.
I do not watch videos. They have to be very short for me to watch them.
I think YouTube's kind of like, okay, come on.
Oh, yeah. It's,
Okay.
Google's not worried, but it does show you that TikTok's model is, if you like a little bit of us, maybe you'll like a lot more of us, and see how that goes. But I did just a quick. We were talking with Congressman Guthrie, who I think of the world of, about big tech, and something was mentioned about Facebook, and he looked over at S.K. Bowen, one of his communications people, and he said, "I do Facebook," and he said, "I tweet," also with a Southern accent because he was born in Alabama. But I asked him, I said, "Do you TikTok?" And he had to turn and look at SK. I said, "Do I TikTok?" She said, she laughed and said, "No, you do not. You do not TikTok." And so nor do I. Grayson County High School's DECA program, the chapter there, is continuing a tradition of strong showings. And at this year's state competition, all competitors were event finalists, with a majority of the chapter eligible for national competition. A group of good-looking individuals there on your screen if you're watching. Also should give special mention that Bailey Collins was selected Kentucky's Outstanding Member of the Year. So congratulations to Bailey and to all of that DECA chapter doing great things at state competition. I was thrilled to see that Grayson County High School alum Tyler Woosley won the USA Indoor Archery National Championship in Barebow. Don't know what Barebow is, but seemed like people are crazy about it, or at least, saying congratulations to you, Tyler. He's a 2021 grad?
Yeah,
Grayson
he's
County
a
High
freshman.
School?
He's the first freshman to ever medal
So by the way,
the Cumberlands.
I had to reread the headline. Like I read it and was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then wait a minute. Won the USA Indoor Archery National Championship? Like, not qualified for, not competed in, won it.
And then while you were talk about a week for GCHS alums, because earlier in the week we had a story that Grace Gorby was the NCCAA Student Athlete of the Week.
I saw that.
And the thing with Tyler Woosley is his older sister also won a national championship when she was in college.
Are you serious?
So
my goodness, well,
something in that
well,
Woosley archery genes.
Well done. Saw Western won last night over Marshall. They'll play again on Saturday to kind of firm up and finalize the CUSA tournament. And Sam, the Cougars are off to Owensboro tonight to play 94 feet of basketball against the Hancock County Hornets. So, yeah, Owensboro that advanced already, I see. McLean County advanced already. So, you got the late game tonight, so taking a little bit of the first game.
It should be a great first game, too. Muhlenberg County and Owensboro Catholic.
So this will be a rematch between the Hornets and the Cougars. They just played a week and a half ago.
Correct. They played, it's just been about 2 weeks ago. It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow. Hancock County won that one by a final score of 51-42. But the Cougars took a 3-point lead in that game with 3.5 minutes to go. So it was something that, it was a close game for the majority of it, so it should be a good one tonight. And then the winner advances to Saturday, and they'll play at 5 o'clock.
What you're saying is the game was in question into the final minutes, and so you're looking for...
And then Hancock hit some free throws that made 9 points. The game was probably more like a 4 or 5 point game, but Hancock hit some free throws down the stretch that expanded it out to 9. But just as a reminder, the Mighty Sports Center will not allow us to do video. So it'll be audio only.
Let's don't blame it all on the Sports Center. It's several people that probably
yes, but the Sports Center deserves some of the blame.
That's right. So you will be able to watch the audio.
Correct.
So if that makes sense, you'll be able to watch on Facebook. You just won't be able to see.
You'll have a nice graphic. It'll be very attractive.
It'll be soothing. It'll be peaceful. So go Cougars. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way here on In the Know. Leggett & Platt has made it easier than ever to join the team and immediately start earning wages with a great company. New hires with Leggett & Platt now start at $16.20 per hour, plus a production incentive. You'll be eligible for a $500 sign-on bonus once you pass the probationary period. A great wage to start, an incentive to work hard, and a sign-on bonus to show you're a worthy member of the team. Apply in person today at Leggett & Platt on Ed Embry Drive in Litchfield. Leggett & Platt is an equal opportunity employer.
All Kentucky driver licensing is moving from circuit clerk offices in every county
to regional offices.
And the new regional offices offer more licensing choices than ever before.
Get a driver's license valid for 4 years.
or 8 years.
Get a real ID
or a standard license.
Renew online
or in person.
You can even visit any regional office you'd like. It's next level licensing.
Learn more at drive.ky.gov.
Successful small business owners know that having an ally in decoding the data of your business performance is vital. A trusted source that can interpret financial reports, advise on tax code, and assess overall performance can be the difference between sleepless nights and peace of mind. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart is your ally in making sure your business is performing at an optimum level. Call or contact today to find out how Buckles, Travis & Hart can help fine-tune your business to create peak performance. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
You know it's going to be a good day when your biggest concern in the morning is collecting the crumbs falling from the McDonald's crispy chicken biscuit. Your only concern should be, has your day peaked too early?
Enjoy every last crumb of the new McDonald's crispy chicken biscuit for only $3. And any size soft drink for just $1. And you'll get your day started on a high note.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
The richest tradition in college basketball.
The most passionate fan base in the world.
Get the best coverage of your Kentucky Wildcats.
Long slam dunk.
Right here.
Hi, it's Tom Leach. Join me and the Wildcat Hall of Famer Mike Pratt for Kentucky basketball all season long. And join Dave Baker and another Hall of Famer, the Goose, Jack Gibbons, for our Don Franklin Auto Countdown to Tip-Off coverage. It starts 90 minutes before game time here on the UK Sports Network.
When you're feeling under the weather or concerned about your family's health, you want the support of a trusted medical provider who lives close by and is available to care for you and your family. Dr. Gregory Koo is a family medicine physician who is putting down roots in this community. With 22 years' experience, he's now accepting new patients in both Caneyville and at Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center in Litchfield. Learn more online at owensborohealth.org/KOO.
Walmart is going to let you try on virtual clothes. Giant retailer out with the Choose My Model try-on feature that allows users to choose from among 50 different models to find the one that best reflects your skin tone, height, and body shape. Once you've gotten your virtual you picked out, you can try out clothes across Walmart's own portfolio of exclusive and private brands, including Free Assembly, Scoop, and Athletic Works. Walmart soon hopes to have a social sharing feature that would let friends give each other feedback on virtual outfits. Video game maker Epic Games is buying online music platform Bandcamp. Music has been a key part of their expansion in their most famous of games, Fortnite, and this could give them a deeper foothold into the medium. Facebook is shutting down its college student-only social network called Campus. Tech Report, Larry Olson, NBC.
Today is I Want You to Be Happy Day. And I do. It is American National Anthem Day today.
No, say, can you see?
It is. I'll tell you a story about our national anthem coming up later on in the show, and you'll know why it's American National Anthem Day today. But kind of puzzled me. And today is also, we gave Americans a little love. Let's give some love to the Canadians. It's Canadian Bacon Day today.
Good ham.
Yum, yum.
Right.
Canadian bacon. It is also the third day of March of Kindness that we're happy to be partnering with. March of Kindness today is Write a Thank You Note to Someone Day today. So just sit down and pen a thank you note and send it to someone. Hand it to them. I guess you can put a stamp on it if you want to, but you're not required to. So
I guess you could do it virtually,
that's
too.
a great thing. Yeah, I guess you could send it. You could send
Well, the oldest daughter bought me stationery. Maybe I will sit down and do that.
Do that. We also, by the way, do have thank you cards with company logos on them in case anybody's, needs to send any from our building. So that would be good. I've been enjoying just kind of thinking each day about the March of Kindness. More close. The school's a spring and they're getting closer to the end of the year and there are a lot of things going on. In Miss Amy's class at Clarkson today, in the kindergarten class, it's Rainbow Day, which Alea is a big lover of rainbows anyway.
It's actually where lots of colors.
Well, it's rainbow
that's
of
the same.
possibilities.
Yeah.
And so all the colors of the... So when I told her this morning for her outfit, I said... Your dress, or I called it a dress, because I knew she would understand. It makes me want to travel into outer space. Mm-hmm. She's got Saturn on there, and so all the colors. And
Look
then
how sweet.
How many does she have? Like 12 different hair bows of different colors.
It's actually 7.
It's 7. All
yes,
right.
we ended at 7 hair bows.
Well, that's all right. She got some on the side. She's got 4 braids in the back.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just like to see all those.
She's rocking it,
doing all those things. So, and don't forget March of Kindness Day today. I also found a list of life hacks, things that you can incorporate into your life that may improve your quality of life. And this would be one that I would be terrible at, and maybe others would be better. I think this is probably less. I think guys are less likely to do this, but it says moisturize every day, head to toe, no matter how yucky it feels. Your old skin will reward you.
See, so, like all the rom-com movies that you watch.
Yeah.
Yes. So all the females have lotion on their nightstand.
Mm-hmm.
And they sit in the bed and they put it on their hands.
Yes.
I'm not that person.
You're not that. Yeah.
I probably should be.
I try to put lotion on my hands every day. I have some lotion in my bathroom, so usually before I go to bed, I'll put some on. I try to remember before I come to work in the mornings, but usually I forget.
Miss Buckles, you usually just want to moisturize when it's far too late, because that's what you say. I got alligator skin, and I got to do something.
That's true.
Do something about it. All right. So these are all not about health and beauty. The next one is keep making friends. It says that the author of this list says, my retired former boss has a group of girlfriends and they vacation together, go golfing, shopping, dining, etc. Then along with your making new friends, it says nurture your old friendships. The older you get, the more precious it becomes to have friends who knew you in different stages of your life. Also, a hack is make sure financial stability is so important. Then make sure you're getting enough sleep. Going to bed at a regular bedtime is important. Sun protection. Get rid of things you don't need. Don't be afraid to edit your life. And then also embrace and enjoy the body you have right here, right now. Because you know who likes the body you have right here and right now? The you 10 years from now. That's what the you 10 years from now will say, wow, you kind of had it going on back during that time. Also read this morning a list of the 20 most used passwords are circulating around the dark web right now, and I have some questions.
Did you go find these on the dark web?
I did not. I allowed someone else to source these out for me, and I think mine came from CNBC. Do you want to start at 20 or start at 1?
Oh, you got to count down from.
Okay.
It's like SportsCenter top 10.
At 20, it's 666 666.
Okay, there's something wrong with you if you do that.
Agreed. 19 is I love you, but the I is capitalized, everything else is lowercase.
Makes sense to do like one of the other random letters to be capitalized.
I'm gonna have a bunch of questions at the end of this. QWERTY, UIOP, with the Q is capitalized. So, okay,
that's easy to type.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The 123321. 654321. If you have any of these, you might really want to revise your strategy, incidentally.
Well, most places won't even let you have those. I mean, you got to have a number or
I'm
an
wondering if
exclamation
these
point.
I wonder if some of these are passcodes.
For a phone or something?
Maybe. Because, here's why. I'll get to that in a second. Number 15 is capital A and then lowercase BC123. At 14, it's 0. Who's letting you have a single-digit password?
Right?
Really,
just 0.
I mean, that would make my life easy, but who does that?
Number 13 is default in all capital letters.
At least all caps is something a little different.
12 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. 11 is 1Q, 2W, 3E. So just,
yeah, easy to type. Yeah.
That's at least
It's a lefty.
somewhat
right?
creative.
By the way, if you're not doing it with your pinky, you don't know how to type. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 at 9. At number 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At number 7, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. At number 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 is password with the P capitalized. 3 is QWERTY with the Q capitalized. At number 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And at number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think in the early days of the internet, back when Al Gore invented it, we used up those passwords, but I think we've been forced to move along on some of those. And while I appreciate, by the way, just speaking of security issues, while I appreciate two-factor authorization, it is such a challenge.
It's a pain in the tail.
We had a run-in a couple months ago, and it took a project that should have taken 2 or 3 minutes. It took us 45 minutes probably.
Yeah, and just okay, send this. Oh, I had to resend it. All right, what is it? What's this code? Oh, the code's been reset. Okay, I send it again. Well, which one? And just on and on. So, I mean, but they've made it where you can't get into your own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
See, I love the Face ID. It's such a good.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still you still have to set a password and do
which
things.
Is fine.
Yes, but
as you should, because sometimes it does the whole thing where sometimes your phone will be on without you knowing, and then you go to it and it's like, oh, you tried too many times.
Yeah, you looked at it.
Uh-huh.
Sam will be really distraught when he hears the following, but apparently the pencil-thin 90s eyebrows are reportedly making a comeback. For the better part of a decade or so, we've been doing it's been more fashionable to do the broader or the thicker. But if there's some...
I may be winning at this point.
Well, I mean, according to an online beauty retailer, since that new Hulu series on Pam and Tommy debuted, there's been a 175% spike in Google searches for skinny brows, because Pam was the queen of the skinny brow in the 90s. And hers are even more skinny than the example you see on the screen. And so they're saying that. So is this a trend you're going to follow, Sam? I know you just take the utmost care in sculpting
100%.
and shaping your eyebrows.
Afraid
so are you going to stay with what you got, or are you going to chase
If it ain't
this
broke, don't fix it,
skinny,
right?
Hey, when you look that good, Sam,
right?
Why even bother to mess
That's why
around
everyone's
and
so
change it?
excited tonight that they don't have to do videos, so they don't have to see me.
We say, Sam, how do you describe your style? Just say classic.
Yeah.
Just classic Sam. That's
Yep.
what that's
25-year-old
that's what I am.
broadcaster.
So you may have picked up over the years, but part of my usual evening routine is try and skim through national news. Like when I get, okay, what did I miss today? And then I will probably watch Wheel of Fortune, but I definitely watch Jeopardy at some point in time. And I have always described Wheel of Fortune as being the appetizer to the Jeopardy entree. And I find Jeopardy to be just challenging enough. I enjoy it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that, and so I learn things from Jeopardy, etc. But I'm a pretty faithful Jeopardy watcher. But what I find myself doing is Jeopardy's a game that happens in such a rapid enough fire that you don't really have time to fuss at the contestants.
Mm-hmm.
But Wheel of Fortune is one that is easy to fuss at the contestants. And she just nodded her head over there because on the rare occasions when she watches Wheel of Fortune with me,
So when I
she's
sit
fussing at
down,
the contestants
I'm like,
and
"Oh."
saying, how do you not know that?
We say this, but at the same time, if you had all the pressure of sitting up there with all the cameras and all the lights,
And I do believe that.
Yeah.
But I do fuss. I'm like, how do you not know that?
So we might have recently had what is being described as the dumbest 2 minutes in Wheel of Fortune history.
Oh, Lordy.
Because earlier this week, it's a now viral clip, but the phrase was another feather in your cap. And it was nearly solved. It was missing, I think, three or four letters, but they were pretty easy ones. But another feather in your cap. The U from your was missing. The C in cap was missing. The P in cap was missing. But all the A's were up there. And so it took the three competitors 8 turns and 10 attempts to solve it from this point.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
How did nobody guess a U?
It was this. Was this solve? They didn't want to spend any money on the valve.
Well,
But,
I mean, what other word would it be?
Right?
Exactly right.
You've already had the
But
H.
I think this was on the final one though, when it was out of time and they were just going around.
they just had to go
Yeah,
around,
so he
okay.
had done the final spin.
Oh, my goodness.
And so he's sitting there, but that's why it took 2 minutes, because they were going fast enough. But here are some of the examples. So it was another feather in your hat.
That at
All
least
right,
makes
I can
sense.
see. But if you don't know the phrase, got it.
H was already there.
That's right. T was already in there as well. But they also guessed another feather in your lap.
At least that rhymes.
Okay,
Another
well.
feather in your map. They got worse from there.
Listen.
But they finally.
Were you watching when this happened?
No, I've got it recorded. I usually stay behind on Wheel of Fortune because I won't. If I miss it, I don't necessarily go back and watch it. But I don't miss Jeopardy. But yeah, the two.
Yeah, I would have been screaming at the TV at that
The
point.
2 dumbest minutes in Wheel of Fortune history. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way here on In the Know.
Why? Just think about it. Why is the #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers to blowers. And you'll find service from experienced professionals. Real STIHL. Find yours at stihlusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local STIHL dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Just 3 words. Made in America. Real STIHL. Find yours at stihlusa.com. The majority of STIHL products sold in America are made in America of U.S. and foreign materials. Batteries and chargers are sourced internationally.
All Kentucky driver licensing is moving from circuit clerk offices in every county
to regional offices.
And the new regional offices offer more licensing choices than ever before.
Get a driver's license valid for 4 years.
or 8 years.
Get a real ID
or a standard license.
Renew online
or in person.
You can even visit any regional office you'd like. It's next level licensing.
Learn more at drive.ky.gov.
Hey, if you're a member of a Kentucky nonprofit, you can win big money for your organization. As a matter of fact, your group could earn up to $15,000. Simply register your Kentucky nonprofit at kahp.org and host a COVID-19 vaccine event. Payouts are based upon participation, and when more people receive the COVID-19 vaccine at your event, your Kentucky nonprofit will receive more money. For additional details, go to kahp.org. That's kahp.org.
At Rural King, nobody beats our prices on farm and home favorites, like chicks. Straight-run standard breed chicks are in stock at only $1.99 a piece. For backyard feeding, 40-pound bags of black oil sunflower seed are just $19.99. And for backyard seeding, Hound Dog's premium grass seed is just $89.99 a bag. Stock up on these and all our unbeatable prices at RuralKing.com or your neighborhood Rural King, America's farm and home store.
Here's Matt's real-world HVAC success story from Kentucky Community and Technical College System.
The name of my company is Code Red Heating and Air. We do commercial, residential, and industrial heating and air conditioning. BCTC helped me achieve my better life by giving me the foundation for the career that I'm in. Classes that I pursued were ones that were going to better me for being a service technician.
Start your own success story. Learn more at kctcs.edu.
The Department for Aging and Independent Living within the Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services wants to promote the Aging Disability Resource Center, a statewide toll-free phone line that provides older adults, individuals with physical disabilities, caregivers, and professionals with information and assistance to promote independent living. Call to learn about home-delivered meals, in-home services, respite care, caregiver support, and Medicaid waiver programs to help, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Call 877-925-0037. Kentucky, we will get through this together. Paid for by the Department of Aging and Independent Living, the KBA, and this station.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather. Sunny but cooler this afternoon with highs into the 50s. Tonight, getting much colder as we tumble down into the 20s and the low 30s. Tomorrow, we still see some sunshine in the forecast, highs into the low 60s for some, seeing even warmer weather for the weekend. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Oh, I'm a traveler. Oh, I'm a traveler. I couldn't tell you, honey. I don't know.
Did you know
Where I'm going.
the harmonica is the world's best-selling musical instrument?
Not a surprise. Not a surprise at all.
Really?
I mean, I understand because it's small and it's portable.
And
I would have
inexpensive.
thought the recorder.
Recorder's probably second.
Maybe.
Because, like,
Or a kazoo?
most elementary
Does a kazoo
schools
count?
require the recorder.
All right, let me ask this. Sam, do you have a harmonica in your home?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
when
all right.
my grandma passed away, we had a harmonica that we always played with, and that was kind of one of my keepsakes.
Wow.
Okay. So I have it sitting on my shelf. So I do have a harmonica.
We are not a harmonica household that I'm aware of.
Mm-hmm.
No, and, growing up, I mean, my papa played guitar, piano, but never harmonica.
Yeah, I mean, I've played harmonica before and enjoy it. I just don't happen to own one. And but I'm trying to think, how I come from a musical family, and I'd say there's a harmonica in the family somewhere. I'm not saying that, but that's not an instrument that I have. That if it's the most popular in the whole world, you would think that 5 to 6 out of 10 households would have one, and we don't, but you do. So there
I do.
You go. There's the
I
half.
do have a harmonica.
That's interesting.
At least
to me.
I'm not
these
sure
two
if I have my
examples.
recorder. I know I have my trombone at the house, but
Your sack butt. It's your sack butt, Sam. I'm a purist on the original name of the trombone.
I mean, I haven't opened it. I haven't opened it in
Okay,
7
to be
years.
fair, I have done little treat bags for birthday parties and put little cheap harmonicas in the treat bags. Does that count?
No,
Really?
is a kazoo an instrument?
I don't know.
Kazoo is different.
Yeah, kazoo is different. But, I mean, you make your own kazoo. If you've got, a paper towel roll and a piece of wax paper and a rubber band, you can kazoo yourself
I mean,
all the way
theoretically,
to-
isn't this making the table an instrument?
I guess. I saw a headline where I don't watch Dancing with the Stars. I don't think I've ever watched more than maybe a couple of minutes of it for whatever reason. But I do understand, I read enough entertainment news headlines that Max Shmerkovsky
Nailed it.
is one of the professionals on Dancing with the Stars, and he is Ukrainian. And he was in Ukraine for some time, and he arrived back in Los Angeles at home. He's 42, and he was photographed yesterday at LAX, where he gave his wife. Now, she's also a dancer, and I don't know how to say her name. Is it Peta or Peta? It's P-E-T-A.
I think it's Peta.
Peta Murgatroyd. That sounds probably about right. Heavens to Murgatroyd. So hours prior to his homecoming, the Dancing with the Stars alum said, getting in a plane, talk to you from L.A. And so he came home. I mean, we were talking about there are 1 million refugees coming out of there. And, some of them obviously are staying there for the fight. Why is AMC charging bold higher prices for tickets to The Batman? Well, because they can. AMC theaters are planning to charge higher ticket prices for the Robert Pattinson superhero flick when it opens this Friday, tomorrow. The cinema chain is experimenting with a variable pricing for films, meaning that they want to charge more money for certain, presumably higher budget movies. I'm surprised the movie industry hasn't done this before now, or more specifically, the movie theater industry.
Yeah, it's kind of like, why is Jackwagon the same price as the Batman?
Is there a new Jackwagon movie that I've missed out on hearing about?
It just came out a couple weeks ago.
It did. Well,
you've been mentioning it.
I've been paying.
Well, we can't say. I mean,
that
you
one.
know, you know the
gotcha.
one I'm talking about.
It's
Jackwagon,
the other one.
Jackbutt, whatever you want to call it.
Gotcha. Okay, now I understand. I was like, did I miss a memo? Like, I need to rush right out to the
It took
theater.
him a minute,
If
right?
there's
Yeah,
a
no.
Jackwagon movie. Now I got what you.
Is it
I
the
got
Steve Cabessa story,
Johnny,
Jackwagon?
Jackwagon, the Steve Cabessa story. That's what it is. The Johnny Knoxville. That's the one you're talking about.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Not Steve Cabessa.
But movies that take $200,000 to make, okay, I doubt you can make many movies for $200,000, and ones that cost $200 million to make. Now, the way it's always been is that if you make it good enough, you'll sell enough tickets to outpace what you invest on it. But because because the delivery and distribution method for new films is being fractionalized, then they're saying, well, we think this movie is worth more. It's a better entertainment experience for you to see this. So we're going to charge more for it.
Isn't Disney's newest movie just Disney Plus that they're coming out? I've seen the previews for it, and they always say at the end, watch it on Disney Plus. I don't even know what it's like some monster or something. Seeing Red. Or am I making this? I know I've seen this. Red something, isn't it?
Not familiar. By the way, I don't see an example of what they're going to charge. But it does also make me wonder, will a movie theater in California charge a much different price than a theater in Kentucky? You would have to think so. I mean,
I would think that would be normal.
costing of living is
Right?
higher, wages are higher. So
Turning Red, that's what it
Turning Red. All right. The Getting Mad story. Turning Red.
I don't know. It looks interesting, I guess.
Sam, I'm putting this on your radar just in case it's information helpful to you. Kim Kardashian is officially single.
Isn't she isn't she with Pete Davidson?
Well, I mean, she might be with him, but they're not married. He didn't put a ring on it yet, so you still got a shot. Kim Kardashian is granted single status by the court.
Poor Kanye.
But yeah, I did see where Kanye is like he wrote some new lyrics and did some new video where he was burying Pete Davidson alive.
We had
or
some
something.
Kanye news earlier in the week, and I don't remember what it was.
He's running for president again.
I don't know.
Is she not your type, or
she's a little old for me.
That's what. Yeah, she's a lot of
She's a lot of
she's
old
a little
for you, honey.
she's a lot of things for you, Sam.
I mean, she's over 40. That's pretty old, right?
I hope your mama is not listening.
Jennifer Hudson will launch a daytime talk show at Fox this fall. Okay, good for you, Jennifer. I'm happy for you to get your own new show. I think she's extremely talented.
She can sing.
Yeah, she can sing. I need to see Respect. I haven't seen the Aretha Franklin movie that she did. It came and went, and so I need to track it down.
Have you caught up on Idol then? The Kentucky Connection, or did you see that?
So that's not something that I have been able. I have been meaning all week to tell that lady over there. Did you go back and watch it?
Me?
Yes.
Of course not.
Okay, so I watched it Sunday night. You all were busy watching Puppies on Disney Plus.
Because we didn't talk about it while you were gone.
So obviously the first story of the Kentuckian was good, but the final, about 20 minutes before the end, the young man from New Jersey, that he sang a Creedence song, but he brought his sister in. And I'm not going to say anymore, but they brought, if you've seen it, you know. But when you get a chance, Miss Buckles, go, even if you don't watch the whole thing, just go get 90 minutes into Sunday's episode and watch this brother. And he brought his sister, one of his sisters, and he brought his mom, and they performed. And,
am I going to cry?
Oh, I was just bawling the other night. Yeah, you're
Okay.
absolutely going to cry.
All right, great.
It was just
I'll do that later.
It was so. If you have, no, I'm not going to say anymore. We'll revisit it tomorrow. I don't want to set it up and then set the bar high or low for anyone. And then, I feel like I know quite a bit about entertainment, but I ran into a situation this morning where it was a show that was on Nickelodeon for 26 episodes from 2001 to 2002 called Salute Your Shorts. I've never heard of this show before, but the star of Salute Your Shorts from Nickelodeon, name is Kirk Bailey, and he has passed away. He age 59, so very young man. But so, in case that's a show you're familiar with, he's been in some other things, but most known for the show Salute Your Shorts, which is kind of a funny title. So
we skipped over that.
Gotcha. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got plenty more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
When you think about your family tree, do you imagine a large oak with strong branches reaching into the sky? Well, I do. My wife and I have worked hard to grow a strong legacy for our boys and our future grandchildren and their grandchildren. But here's the thing. My wife and I are growing a strong legacy because we didn't inherit one. My family tree is more like a family bush. My mother died when I was 9 years old. My stepdad abandoned me and my siblings within hours of her funeral. After that, I was placed in foster care. And then my biological father died of alcoholism when I was 12. I wound up in a home where parenthood wasn't a gift to treasure, but a hassle to endure. I've experienced firsthand how life storms can snap the branches of your family tree, which is why my wife and I have worked so hard to grow a strong legacy for our boys. We've done our best to instill them with eternal values, to teach them to ground their lives in love, faith, and family. My wife and I are nothing special, which is great news for you, my fellow parents, because too many people feel their heritage has doomed them to failure as a spouse and as a parent. But I'm here to tell you, if you didn't inherit a good family tree, don't lose heart. You can grow one. You can't go back and change the past, but you can change course now and create a brand new future. Do that, and you'll grow a family tree that's as strong as an oak. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Metashare. Maybe you've heard switching to Metashare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medishare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medishare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. 844-41-BIBLE.
At Rural King, nobody beats our prices on farm and home favorites. Like chicks. Straight run standard breed chicks are in stock at only $1.99 a piece. For backyard feeding, 40-pound bags of black oil sunflower seed are just $19.99. And for backyard seeding, Hound Dog's premium grass seed is just $89.99 a bag. Stock up on these and all our unbeatable prices at RuralKing.com or your neighborhood Rural King, America's farm and home store.
Because you had to be a big shot, did you? You had to open up your mouth.
MB's point to ponder for today. Sam will know the answer to this because he does it all the time. Why can you wear a bikini in public but not underwear?
I'm going to tag off to her on this answer.
You guys walk around,
No.
people walking around in bikinis, but you walk around in your underwear just once, and people look at you and raise their eye, like what's going on with that? So that's a good question. I don't really know. On television tonight, not much to report really, except for Top Chef? It's on Bravo. It was so insignificant, I don't even recall what it was.
Well, Cougars in Hancock County, you can listen to that.
Cougars in
7:45.
Hancock County. And what you can do is you can do it kind of the old school way. You can, dial it up on YouTube. You can dial it up on Facebook or on Twitter or on 104.9, and you'll be able to hear it, and you get to draw the pictures in your own mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, but for some of you who don't draw very well, you're in big trouble. You're just gonna
Especially if I'm the one helping you.
Well, paint the pictures just fine, I think. Maybe get some watercolors.
Do I need to bring my crayons tonight?
You might. It's a rainbow of possibilities. Season 19 premiere of Top Chef on Bravo. I've never seen any Top Chef.
Nor have I.
I'm not sure I've ever watched anything on Bravo.
You can get into some bad. Some of it's all right. On today's highlight in history, this date 1974, a Turkish Airlines DC-10 crashed shortly after takeoff from Orly Airport in Paris, killing all 346 people on board. Hey, by the way, because I'll forget if I don't mention it today, just giving that, because there was a story about Turkey and Greece that he shared. I didn't know until earlier this week that Congressman Brett Guthrie is a member of the NATO Parliament. So you have NATO, you have the treaty organization, and then they have a government, like an advisory government board with leaders from all over the country. And because of his history at West Point and his service in the military and kind of understanding world affairs, I had no idea. He was in Brussels last week for their meeting, and I just thought, well, that's neat. I didn't know that about you.
It's pretty impressive, yeah.
And so he was there with Mike Pompeo, and he and former Secretary of State, and they both attended West Point at the same time. I think Pompeo was a year ahead of Congressman Guthrie at West Point. So I thought, let's learn stuff all the time. In 1845, Florida became the 27th state. In 1849, the U.S. Department of Interior was established. That was a big move.
National
Department of
Parks.
the Interior, that's right. And 1931, the Star-Spangled Banner became the national anthem of the United States. In 1931. I would have grown up my entire life. So I was born in 1971. I didn't realize that the national anthem had only been the national anthem for 40 years when I was born.
I'm not sure I knew that either.
I think it's one of those things that you just assume had always been.
Right, because it's an old song, and you know where the inspiration was from Francis Scott Key.
What, War of 1812, right?
Yeah, something like that. In 1969,
Feel like as Americans we should know this.
I was not prepared for the quiz. In 1969, Apollo 9 blasted off from Cape Kennedy on a mission to test the lunar module.
It was written in 1814, but I think it was still the War of 1812.
Jennifer Warnes is 75 today. Jackie Joyner Kersey is 60. Herschel Walker is 60. Tone Loc is 56 today.
Oh, my
I thought you said
goodness
Jennifer
gracious.
Lawrence is 74. I was like,
Loked after dark. No, Jennifer Warnes.
yeah, I
is
thought you said
75.
Lawrence. I was like, I don't think she's that old.
So Julie Bowen is 52 today. So you'll know Julie Bowen from Modern Family.
Okay.
But my favorite two Julie Bowen roles is she is the PGA Tour rep in Happy Gilmore that becomes Adam Sandler's love interest.
And she was so young.
She was.
then. Yes.
But then she's also in Horrible Bosses. She's Kevin Spacey's wife.
Mhm.
And those are my two favorite Julie Bowen roles. She's very good.
I just watched that
both
movie a
those.
couple weeks ago.
By the way, started
Which
watching.
one?
Horrible Bosses. Again, I hadn't seen it in a while.
So good. David Faustino is 48 today. Bud Bundy is 48.
I would have thought older.
Jason Crabb is 45. Jessica Biel is 40. And Camilla Cabello is 25 today. Gone but not forgotten. George Pullman, inventor of the railroad sleeping car, born in 1831. And Alexander Graham Bell, born this date in 1847. And Ann B. Davis, who played Florence. No. What was the character's name on Brady Bunch? The housekeeper. I get it mixed up because Florence Henderson was played Carol Brady, and so I'll think of it in a minute. It came to me quickly, and I thought, that's not right. Perry Como, number one this date in 1956 with Hot Diggity.
Alice.
Thank you.
Alice. Well, I thought Alice, and then I thought, but wait, Linda Lavin played Alice on the TV show Alice, so am I getting all my wires crossed? That's it. I finally turned 50, and I can't remember anything.
Well, while you were gone, you missed that Opie turned 68.
Really?
Ron Howard.
Yeah. Huh. I was thinking
Dennis Cook about passed out when I said that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
As a big Andy Griffith fan.
1965. The Kingsmen. I don't have time to unpack that today. There's a lot going on in that song. A lot of texture. 1974, Terry Jacks number one was Seasons in the Sun.
The hills that we climbed were just seasons out of time.
Okay. Let's go on to 1983. The Stray Cats number one was Stray Cat Strut.
I feel like this should be your intro music, right?
Especially this video with all these great feline characters in it.
I mean, there's nothing you enjoy more than cats, right? Because that's why I thought you were gone yesterday. It was, what was it, Cat Appreciation Day or something?
That's where I was. I was out appreciating cats everywhere.
And it was also Banana Cream Pie Day.
Ooh, that's the day for me to just stay home.
You're killing me, fam.
Don't even leave the house. Mr. Big to Be With You, number one in 92. Jaded, Aerosmith in 01. So 21 years ago, Aerosmith was number one. We Are the World, 25 for Haiti in 2010. And Halsey, Without Me, number one 3 years ago today.
It's crazy it's been 12 years since that Haiti.
It's hard to believe. Good luck to the Cougars tonight in the third region tournament. Owensboro, we got coverage for you. And remember, audio broadcast for you across even the video platforms. You'll be able to hear the game. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes, it's on.